Beneath the scorching sands of the Giza Plateau, three colossal pyramids have stood silent for millennia, monuments of stone, mystery, and unimaginable precision. Yet what if I told you, these ancient structures are not merely tombs or temples, but keys? Keys to a celestial map, one not drawn on parchment, but written in the stars. Why do the pyramids of Egypt align so precisely, not just with each other, but with the constellation Orion's Belt? Was this a coincidence or a coded message left by a civilization far more advanced, spiritually or technologically, than we've ever imagined? In nearly every ancient culture, Orion was revered. The Egyptians associated it with Osiris, the god of resurrection and the afterlife. To the Maya, the same constellation held the secrets of creation. Across continents, across ages, the same pattern repeats, a trio of stars and monuments that mirror them on Earth. Why? There are questions that conventional archaeology cannot answer. How did ancient builders, supposedly without access to modern tools or technology, construct structures that align with stellar bodies with mathematical accuracy? What compelled them to fix their gaze upon Orion? And more curiously, what might they have known about the relationship between heaven and earth, between soul and star? In this video, we are not here to merely speculate, we are here to explore. We'll journey through lost knowledge, forbidden texts, and esoteric teachings long hidden beneath the veil of time. You'll discover what the ancients might have been trying to tell us about life, death, and our place in the cosmos. Because once you understand the deeper meaning behind the pyramids and Orion, you may never look at the night sky or your own existence the same way again. So let's begin, not with an answer, but with the question that unlocks them all. What if the sky was never just above us, but within us? Long before the modern world divided science from spirit, the ancients lived by a singular truth: as above, so below. This wasn't just a poetic phrase or spiritual metaphor. It was law, a cosmic principle passed down through Hermetic teachings, etched into stone, encoded in symbols, and woven into the very architecture of the ancient world. The pyramids of Giza are not random marvels. They are intentional alignments, born from a profound understanding of cosmic order. According to the pyramid texts, among the oldest religious writings known, the soul of the pharaoh, upon death, was believed to ascend to the stars, specifically to Orion, where he would be united with Osiris, the god of resurrection. Orion was not just a constellation, it was a celestial homeland for the divine spark within humanity. But why Orion? To the ancient Egyptians, Osiris was more than myth. He was the archetype of death, rebirth, and eternal life. And Orion, the constellation tied to Osiris, symbolized the soul's journey through darkness into illumination. The alignment of the pyramids with Orion's belt wasn't simply astronomical, it was initiatory. The entire Giza complex may have been constructed as a stargate, a physical and metaphysical conduit between the earthly and the divine. What's more, this alignment isn't unique to Egypt. Across the globe, in Teotihuacan, in Cambodia, even in the ancient structures of Nabta Playa in southern Egypt, similar star alignments appear. Cultures separated by oceans and millennia somehow shared an obsession with mimicking Orion's belt on Earth. This convergence suggests a universal sacred science, one that predates our historical record. Modern historians might dismiss this as coincidence, but in the esoteric traditions, those passed quietly through secret schools and mystery orders, it is taught that Earth is a reflection of the heavens. The positioning of sacred sites was no accident, but a mirror of the celestial blueprint. This blueprint, known in Hermetic teachings as the macrocosm, is said to govern not only the stars, but the architecture of the soul itself. Now ask yourself, why has this knowledge been forgotten? Or rather, why has it been hidden? Throughout history, knowledge that empowers the individual, especially knowledge that hints at our divinity, has often been suppressed. From the burning of the Library of Alexandria to the systematic erasure of Gnostic and Hermetic texts, humanity's link to the stars has been severed, distorted, or cloaked in myth. But those who seek still find, and when you trace the lines between the pyramids and Orion, not with the mind of a tourist, but with the eyes of an initiate, you begin to see something far greater than stones in the desert. You see a message, a memory, a map. Imagine standing at the base of the Great Pyramid, not as a tourist, but as one awakened to its deeper purpose. As the wind whips across the desert, you're not just surrounded by ancient stone, you're standing at the intersection of earth and sky, a crossroad where energy, geometry, and starborn wisdom converge. To understand the connection between the pyramids and Orion, we must first grasp a forgotten principle. The ancients were not building monuments, they were building machines. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, is aligned within a fraction of a degree to true north. Its proportions encode the mathematical constant pi. Its internal chambers reflect the golden ratio. But more than that, its three pyramids mirror Orion's belt with uncanny precision, as if the builders had access to aerial views thousands of years before the first flying machine. This mirror effect is no accident. In 1994, researcher Robert Bauval proposed what became known as the Orion correlation theory, showing that the layout of the three main pyramids on the Giza plateau corresponds to the three stars of Orion's belt, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. What's more, the orientation of the pyramids matches the position of Orion as it appeared in the sky around 10,500 BCE. Why that date? It marks the time of the so-called Zep Tepi, the first time in Egyptian mythology, an era when gods walked the earth. It is said this was the time of divine builders, wisdom keepers, and possibly an advanced civilization now lost to history. The pyramids may be remnants of this golden age, and their alignment a timestamp encoded in stone. Some researchers have even suggested that the ancient Egyptians were preserving knowledge from a pre-Diluvian civilization, one wiped out by global cataclysm. In this view, the pyramids are not just tombs, they are repositories, libraries carved in limestone, portals to memory. Let's also consider the shafts within the Great Pyramid. One of them points directly to Orion's belt. The ancient Egyptians referred to this shaft not just as a tunnel, but as a passage for the soul, an astral gateway through which the pharaoh's consciousness could ascend and be reborn among the stars. This aligns with the Hermetic concept that the soul is a divine spark temporarily encased in flesh. Death, then, is not an end, but a return to the stars, a return to Orion, the celestial homeland of the gods. But it doesn't stop there. The three pyramids, when seen from above, are slightly offset, just as the stars of Orion's belt are. This offset breaks the symmetry, yet it is intentional. Esoteric teachings suggest that perfection is not always in symmetry, but in resonance. The pyramids weren't built to impress, they were built to harmonize. With the earth, with the stars, with the soul. And here's where it gets even more mysterious: the positioning of Giza in relation to the rest of the planet. It lies near the geographic center of Earth's landmass, not in the middle by accident, but by design. Could the builders have understood the Earth as a living grid, an energy lattice, a sacred geometry in motion? In ancient traditions, this concept is known as the world axis, the link between the heavens and the Earth. The Giza plateau was the anchor. But what were they anchoring? Now we descend further, beyond stone and starlight, into the hidden machinery of consciousness. We've seen how the pyramids align with Orion, how shafts point to the stars, and how the layout of Giza mirrors the heavens. But what does all of this mean? Why Orion? Why embed such precision into the bones of Earth? In ancient Egyptian cosmology, Orion was Osiris, the god of resurrection, rebirth, and divine kingship. Osiris wasn't merely a mythic figure, he was a cosmic archetype. His dismemberment and restoration represent the soul's descent into matter and its eventual return to the divine. The pyramids, then, were not graves, they were ascension chambers, stargates, devices designed to restore the soul to its celestial origin. This is not allegory. This was their science. But here's where the veil lifts even further. Across the ancient world, cultures that never supposedly connected spoke of the same celestial pattern. In Mesoamerica, the pyramids at Teotihuacan mimic Orion's belt. The Dogon tribe of Mali, without access to telescopes, somehow knew of Sirius B, a star invisible to the naked eye, and claimed that their ancestors came from a system linked to Orion. Across the Himalayas, Tibet, China, and even in Australia's Aboriginal traditions, Orion appears not just as a constellation, but as a source of life, of wisdom, of soul. Why do all these ancient traditions speak the same celestial language? Because perhaps it was never their language to begin with. Perhaps they were merely remembering what had been passed down from the stars. Now consider this. Modern astrophysics confirms that Orion is a stellar nursery, a place where stars are born. The Orion Nebula, a glowing cradle of gas and plasma, births stars that will one day become suns around which worlds may form. Could it be that ancient mystics knew what science only now confirms? Could it be that the ancients saw Orion not just as their destination, but as their origin? The esoteric teaching goes deeper. As above, so below is not a poetic phrase, it's a key, a law. The pyramids mimic the sky because the soul mirrors the cosmos. Within you lies the same geometry, the same divine proportion, the same stardust. You are the temple. You are the pyramid. You are the axis between matter and spirit. And when you stand at Giza and look up at Orion, you are not looking at something separate. You are gazing into a cosmic reflection. But this knowledge was dangerous. To understand the stars was to understand time, energy, and the architecture of creation. If you could align your temple with Orion, you could align your consciousness with divine law. You could awaken. And so this knowledge was hidden. The connection between pyramids and stars was buried beneath layers of literalism, dogma, and disinformation. Entire histories were rewritten. Symbols were misunderstood. Star maps became myth. But the pyramids have endured. Silent sentinels. They waited. And they still whisper their secrets to those with ears to hear. In truth, the connection between the pyramids and Orion is not just architectural or astronomical. It is initiatory. To walk the path of the Orion mysteries is to undergo a spiritual rebirth, to transcend the illusion of separateness, to reclaim your heritage as a cosmic being. And that path begins within. So, how does this ancient alignment, this cosmic dance between stone and star, affect you here and now? It's one thing to admire the mystery, but true esoteric knowledge is not meant to be admired. It is meant to be embodied. The ancients didn't build monuments to preserve the past. They built them to initiate the future. And now you are the initiate. The first step is understanding that Orion is not just out there. It is within you. The Hermetic maxim, as above, so below, reveals that everything the stars represent also plays out in the architecture of your soul. Just as the pyramids were meticulously aligned with Orion's belt to mirror divine order, you too can align your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy to mirror higher consciousness. Begin by practicing inner alignment. Sit in silence. Breathe with intention. Let your body become the temple, your breath the sacred rhythm. Visualize drawing starlight from Orion down into your body. Feel the 3 stars of Orion's belt, Mintaka, Alnilam, and Alnitak, lining up along your spine. Sense the energy flowing up through your base, your heart, and into your crown, like a celestial current awakening your inner pyramid. This is not mere visualization, it's energetic architecture. You are activating ancient memory encoded within your cells. Next, connect to the stars in your own rituals. On a clear night, find Orion in the sky. Stand beneath it in reverence. Speak your intentions aloud as the ancients did, knowing that to voice something beneath Orion's gaze is to etch it into the cosmos. Use this time for meditation, journaling, or the charging of objects with your focused energy. You are synchronizing your personal vibration with the deeper harmonics of the universe. But this connection isn't just about the stars, it's also about myth and transformation. In Egyptian cosmology, Orion was linked to Osiris, the god of resurrection. To awaken to Orion is to awaken the Osiris within you, the divine soul that remembers. Osiris was dismembered and scattered, just as modern consciousness often feels fragmented by stress, trauma, and disconnection. But like Osiris, You hold the power to gather your parts, to heal, and to rise. Every struggle you've endured is a whisper of your own ancient initiation. Every time you choose healing over numbness, vision over fear, you are resurrecting. Ask yourself, where in your life have you forgotten your divine origin? What aspects of your being lie dormant, waiting to be remembered? How can you become the conscious architect of your own inner temple? The wisdom of Orion is not a fantasy, it is a mirror. It shows you what you truly are, a being rooted in earth but pointed toward the stars. The pyramid's base is wide, grounded in the material world, but it rises steadily, perfectly to a single point. That point is you at your highest alignment. That point is spirit. That point is the star returning home. To embody this wisdom in daily life, begin building your own symbolic pyramid, not of stone, but of choices. Let your daily actions become sacred architecture. Choose presence over distraction, integrity over convenience, truth over comfort, and let every intentional act raise you higher. Day by day, layer by layer, you rise. And when the apex of your being aligns with the heavens, the mystery is no longer out there. It becomes who you are. The pyramids were never just tombs. They were resurrection machines. And now, the same blueprint lies in your hands. What will you build with it? The ancients spoke in stone and silence, carving truths into time itself. And now, across millennia, you have heard their whisper. The alignment between the pyramids of Giza and Orion's Belt is more than an architectural marvel or celestial coincidence. It is a symbol of humanity's forgotten intimacy with the cosmos. It is a message encoded in geometry and light, reminding us that we are not just observers of the universe, but expressions of it. What they built was not just a map of the sky, but a mirror for the soul. We live in a world that has divorced the heavens from the earth, that has buried mystery beneath distraction, and that fears what it cannot measure. But the wisdom of Orion, the path encoded in the stars and echoed in stone, reminds us that the answers we seek are already within us. The ancients did not fear the mystery. They became it. You are part of a lineage far older than your name, your culture, or even your planet. You are a child of stardust, dreaming yourself awake in a body made of earth and longing. And now, as you walk through your days, the pyramids stand not as ruins, but as reminders of who you were, of what you've forgotten, and of the divine architecture you're still meant to become. So next time you look up and see Orion glittering in the night sky, remember, it is not distant. It is calling. And the pyramids? They are the echo of that call, frozen in time, waiting for you to listen. If this journey stirred something ancient within you, something deep and unspoken, you are not alone. You are part of a hidden thread, woven through time, carried by seekers, mystics, and builders of light. If this video spoke to your soul, consider subscribing to this channel, Mind of the Mystics. Leave a comment below, and let us know, what do you believe the stars are trying to tell us? Because the age of forgetting is ending. And now it's time to remember.